Have you ever wondered what it's like to cruise with an inside cabin for an extended period of time?
We just spent 22 days on this interior cabin on the beautiful Enchanted Princess.
Okay, so this is not our first rodeo. This is not our first inside cabin.
No, it isn't.
So we've done this before, but we've only ever done it in spurts of 7 days on a cruise ship.
Yes.
At the very most, sometimes even a little bit less, I believe. But we are considering ourselves lucky that we chose to do 22 days on an inside of Princess.
For sure, because there are other cruise lines that have smaller interior cabins than what this one is, for sure. I would think generally this Princess interior cabin is one of the larger interior cabins we've had.
Yeah, for sure. Now, in saying that, there are some cruise lines that still have interior rooms that do have sofas and couches, which this doesn't. But the layout of this room is very interesting in that you've got a large walk-in closet. That buys extra space to move around the ship. You're not fighting past each other to get to the closet, then get over to the makeup table. So it's laid out well, I guess is the way I'm saying it.
Yes, I would agree.
And compared to some of the other smaller Princess ships that we've been on, this has a bigger shower.
Yes.
So that's a plus.
It is. So the bathroom and the closet in this interior room is the identical size of the bathroom and closet in a balcony room or a deluxe balcony room.
Yeah, that's what we're finding, that really the biggest difference between this inside square footage and a balcony square footage is that you're pretty well missing the balcony in that sofa. So
And the sofa.
there's a bit of a difference there.
But see, with Princess, the sofa is only in the deluxe balcony. If you have a balcony room,
true.
you still don't get a sofa. You have to go to the deluxe balcony to get the sofa in your actual cabin.
Yes, if you're not doing the deluxe balcony in this class of Princess ship, then your interior space is the same as it is on a regular balcony.
Pretty close, yeah.
You're just missing the balcony. So for those of you that want fresh air or be able to see outside or think that you can get outside in an emergency, it doesn't have that.
Obviously.
What we have done to supplement that and that a little bit of natural daylight to see what's going on is we run the webcam on the big TV.
We do.
Like right now, we were looking out there, we can see port, we can see it's sunny out, we can see that, it's not raining. So you get an idea at least what's going on outside. It's kind of similar to having an ocean view where you can't open it and get fresh air either. Just a virtual ocean view.
TV version. Right.
So, things that I liked about it, like I said, well laid out. I can go and I can get changed. I can go to the wardrobe and choose out what I'm wearing for the night. Mrs. Canuck can be right here. She can be doing her makeup and we're not bumping into each other.
It's true.
I can even come by where she's doing her makeup, go to my side of the bed, get something out of the drawer, sit down and relax, turn on the TV. You're not bumping into each other, which is a lot of interior rooms. You're always having to make room for the other person to move by.
The other thing I would say about being on an interior room for 22 days is storage. Obviously traveling for 22 days, you have more luggage than if you're doing a 7-day cruise. And so the fact that it has the same size closet is a huge bonus for us, but also the amount of storage and drawers. So the big walk-in closet with the cabinet in there for clothes and storage, and then in the actual main room under the TV, you've got a set of 4 drawers, and each bedside table has 2 drawers and a shelf. So there's plenty of storage. We were able to unpack on day 1 all of our stuff. We came with 4 suitcases and 2 backpacks, and everything had a place for the last 22 days, which meant living in an interior room was very functional because you weren't having to maneuver around suitcases or cluttered countertops because you didn't have a place to store it.
Yeah, and on top of that, not only did everything have its own space, it had its own space where it's tucked in and out of sight. Some of the newer ships have like shelving and everything's kind of hanging out all over the place. This room always looked clean and well kept simply because you could put your things away, close a drawer. The only exception being is a big walk-in closet, but really that's all that is the closet to the bathroom. So.
And it's set in so it still looks clean and organized.
Exactly. So yeah, we have our suitcases tucked under the bed, no problem.
They fit in
and
there,
we've got
no
some
problem.
pretty big suitcases and a lot of vlogging equipment that a lot of you don't have, and we still had room to store all that out of sight.
For sure.
So yeah, storage is definitely a big bonus. Lots of light in here. Of course, there's no natural light. One of the good things, and maybe one of the bad things, is that because there isn't any natural light, you can sleep in as late as you want. Unless you have a clock or a watch or a phone that you're looking at to see the time, you have really no idea, except for maybe a little bit of noise in the hallway when people start getting up. So we slept in more than we've ever slept in. So if you like the opportunity to sleep and relax on your vacation, this is the cabin to do it.
It sure is. Yeah.
So, yeah, which is good and bad because then you sleep in more often. So we usually get up early in the morning. So we don't do that as much as an inside cabin because the sun doesn't wake us up.
For sure.
So a lot of people are worried about being inside and thinking I can't see the horizon. Am I going to get seasick or feel claustrophobic? When I started cruising, I had a big problem with seasickness. So if anybody's going to get it, it's going to be me. But room selection location is key as much as the type of cabin we find. That this is literally middle of the ship, down low. We're just one level above the atrium or the piazza. And we had some really rough seas. We had a couple ports canceled. It was so rough some days. And we didn't feel the motion in here at all. You feel a little bit of vibration through the ship as a whole, but you really don't get any drastic motion. So if you're worried about seasickness and being inside, that's really something that isn't a thing, and that's been a problem for me in the past.
Yeah, if you're worried about motion sickness, always book lower on the ship and midship. Don't go high forward, high back. Not gonna. The only time I've ever felt it was when we were on the very top level of cabins forward.
Yeah, and that's not specific to inside cabins. So
no, that was a balcony room we had then.
And everybody's always worried about you're closed in, you can't get away from each other. It's inside cabin, but really the space size isn't any different than another type of cabin unless you're going up to a suite.
Right.
So it really isn't much different as far as bumping into each other or lack of privacy. If you're a couple like we are, really not a problem. In fact, I would say that this isn't much smaller than some people's condominiums in a large city. There were some hotel rooms that we've stayed in leading up to a cruise.
That's true too, for sure.
So really, especially this trip is in Europe for us, and some of the European hotels are fairly small, and really this is about a heck of a lot different for size than the hotel rooms.
For sure.
So definitely functional. It's in a good location for us. So one of the keys when you do an inside cabin is that it use the rest of the ship as an extension of your cabin. That's what we always do if we have an inside.
That's right.
We spend more time going out to a lounge chair early in the morning and making our own space and finding our own balcony. On this ship we found our own little special spot where not a lot of people knew about, that we went out and there was always space for us to sit out and relax. It was like having our own big balcony to ourselves.
That's right.
And also we're well located. We can run down fast to a dining room. The buffet is just an elevator ride away. The piazza is right around the corner if you want to see what's going on. So International Cafe is open 24/7, so we always have access to food real quick. So yeah, so really the inside cabin, thought maybe it would get to me after, day after day after day, but really it didn't.
The only thing that I would say that I miss with having an inside cabin is if you are a person that loves to have room service. You don't really have like a little coffee table where they can bring in your tray of food and put it there. It either has to go on your makeup table desk or on your bed with you. And so, for us, we only had room service brought in the one time just because of that. You don't really have the space to have an eating place unless you're quite comfortable doing it in bed, which can be nice for a breakfast. But again, it's nice when you have a balcony cabin and you usually have a little end table or coffee table next to your sofa that you can sort of set up as your own little dining room.
Yeah, for sure. And this inside cabin has all the amenities of other cabins. You've got a fridge that you can put cold drinks in. You've got everything on the TV that you want. You can look up what's going on around the ship. You can find everything you want through the app. So we spent a decent amount of time in the cabin. It's not like we weren't here all the time.
Right.
But really, if we wanted balcony space, instead of sitting on our balcony, we went and found a balcony somewhere in the ship.
Right.
If we wanted a nice, comfortable couch to lay on to read a book or relax for a while, we'd go and find an empty lounge somewhere. Vista Lounge would be quiet, or the Crown Grill bar might be quiet. And all those were literally just down the hall from this cabin. So it was like an extension of our cabin as well.
For sure.
So yeah.
And I mean, the huge plus of booking an inside cabin is the obvious plus, is that it allows us to cruise more often because we paid for an inside cabin for 22 days. It would have been a whole lot more. We wouldn't have been able to cruise for the whole 22 days when we were doing dollar to dollar. We would have had to book a shorter cruise.
Yeah. And I guess it all boils down to how you cruise. If you don't mind using your cabin as a place to sleep, a place to change, a place to quickly regroup,
store your stuff,
and get back out on the ship or get out to port to do things, then inside cabin is definitely the way to go because it's going to free up those dollars to do more traveling or more things while you're traveling.
Right.
And if you're the type of person that spends more time in your cabin, you want to sit and watch a lot of TV, you want to sit on the balcony for hours at a time, that type of thing, then inside cabin might be a little bit of a challenge, although I still think there's workarounds with that. But yeah, it really depends on how you cruise. Is the cabin your focus, or is the ship and the ports the focus?
Right.
And for us, it's always been about the ship and where we're going. Yeah, and one last strategy with an interior cabin, and we've used this a few times, is you book the inside cabin. You know that it's good enough to get you through and you can enjoy your cruise, but sometimes there's opportunities for upgrades, or you can bid for an upgrade, so maybe you can save some money that way. That if you're thinking, I maybe don't want an interior, but I want to start at that price point and have an opportunity, maybe upgrade if I can. The only problem with that challenge, with that approach, is that you want to make sure that you're okay with the interior cabin if you don't get an upgrade offer, or you don't win the bid. So
that's right, because you might not. But for us, it has happened many times that we successfully bid for an upgrade and ended up with a balcony room or an ocean view room or something like that. But we're quite happy where we are right here and enjoyed it, and was very pleased with how much it costs to do this.
Yeah, so that's the question. Can you do over 3 weeks in an interior cabin and not go stir crazy? For sure.
I think we did it quite successfully. We're quite happy with this room.
Yep. Our cabin was just a means to an end to get out there and see another part of the world. So if you look at it that way, you know, beautiful cruise ship, beautiful planet. This is just, you know, like our bedroom at home. So anyways, thanks for watching. And if you want to check out more of the details of not only the cabin, what we did on board the ship while staying in this cabin, then check out our vlog series on our 22 days in the Mediterranean. It's 2 11-day vlogs, all on the same ship on the Enchanted Princess. So check those out as well.
For sure.
So thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And have fun in your interior cabin.